Welcome to Peak Personalities. This is a series we'll be doing bi-weekly with me and Nathan. The concept will be going by one series at a time, talking about some of our favorite moments, and for now, we're covering Bleach. So, for this episode, we're diving into the nicheness of my heart in the fullbring arc, and covering who I would consider the best mother in this series. Take your guess.
The best mother?
Mm-hmm.
She's a. This is in the fullbring arc?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Ichiko doesn't have a mom anymore. Neither does Uryu. I think Orihime doesn't have a mom. Oh, Rangiku? No, it's fullbring.
We already covered Rangiku.
I don't know. I can't recall.
Covering Miss Ikumi. I know you're waiting for your moment of applause for this grand character.
Oh, I always saw her as more of a sister figure to Ichigo.
I mean, she's a literal mom.
She has kids?
Yes, she has a son.
Oh, I'm cooked. I'm
You
cooked.
were
I'm
you're
cooked for this
cooked,
one.
chat.
You're gonna be walking your way on this one.
Oh yeah, bro. This might be a shorter one because I'll probably do all the heavy lifting, and we'll see how much you have to ask. So we might as well start with pivotal moments. Now, this is a theme that goes through her entire character story, and her role is to be a supporting adult and getting Ichigo ready for adulthood. She's a returning character whenever Ichigo's like emotionally troubled or he doesn't know what to do. He's kind of like pulled to her almost, and she's always like there for him and ready to help him in whatever way she can. I think kind of the found family angle is one of the things I really enjoy about this character. And my little point I want to start with is Ichigo is at her place. Ginjo walks into the facility asking for one simple question: who is Ishin Kurosaki? And Ichigo's like, bro, that's my fucking dad. Like, are you cussing with me? Like, don't point and cuss at me, okay? So he's like, okay, yeah. So that's your dad, huh? Well, how much do you know about him? And how much do you even know about your own family? And it's just like, shit, bro.
Dang.
Ginjo just comes in and says that to Ichigo, and you're just like, shit, he's 17.
He's 17.
I don't want an adult coming at me with like, oh yeah, you know your pops, you know your family? Tell me what you know about them. Do you even know about them? Do you even have a connection with the people you call your home, your family? What can you actually tell me about them?
My dad's a soul reaper.
And Ichigo's just like, man, I don't actually know that much about my dad. And he's like not ready to battle and confront this in this moment. And Ikumi's like, oh yeah, thanks for coming. We don't need you. We'll consider this case. I'll get back to you. She kicks him out because she steps up for Ichigo in a way he doesn't know how to. Ichigo, when he has his powers, can fight Aizen. But without his powers, he can't even handle a conversation with an adult.
Dang, you're getting deep.
And she's ready to step up for him in that area where Ichigo is weak.
Are we still under plot implications? This is getting deep.
Bro, we're just in pivotal moments. I'm telling you, his character is deep, but no one talks about it.
No, she like no.
You don't have anything you want to add about plot implications?
I mean, I'm not gonna go as deep as you. So I more admired her. She looked like a very big cushion. She really had a good cushion for Ichigo during his mental state during that time because she rehired him and Ichigo was like, I have no powers. And she's like, all right, like you said, she basically was taking on that role to help Ichigo and stand up for him, teaching him more how to be human. Because Ichigo, as he really dove into his Soul Reaper side and his like new powers, now that they're gone, Ichigo has an identity crisis, and it looks like he's struggling to even know how to be a human. And I think Ikumi really was getting him grounded and teaching him, like, yeah, you don't know much about your dad. I'm going to shoulder your burden or help you shoulder your burden.
We might as well cover this in pivotal moments because it does tie into the support theme. One of the things that when I was briefly glanced through the Fullbringer arc looking for her character, and one of the things I noticed I never noticed before is that kind of theming of being physically there, but not having a place.
Mm.
When the fullbring arc starts, Ichigo is literally bouncing between teams in high school based on who pays the most. He's going from basketball to soccer.
Mm.
He comes to work. His boss, his last name is Unagiya, or however you pronounce it, which means eel. And everyone thinks it's like a ramen shop. But really, what they do at this place is whatever random jobs other places don't want to do, they will do. It's kind of like a job mercenary place where they just get random tasks and they just do it. So even the work that Ichigo has found is random tasks with no like grounded focus.
Mm.
He's still kind of bouncing around even with this job in the literal duties of the job. Strong character moment. Now, this is another thing that I didn't necessarily connect until I was going through, but when Ichigo witnesses Uryu and Orihime get slashed and dashed by Tsukushima, the anime adds some great scenes with Yuzu getting attacked by Hollow, Mizuru and Keigo also get slashed and dashed by Tsukushima.
Mm.
And after those 4 incidents happen in the anime, 2 in the manga, he goes straight to Ikumi and he's checking on her to see if she's affected, if she's been attacked, if she's okay. We don't see Ichigo check on literally anyone else in this arc.
Mm.
And Ikumi notices this. She tells him, "Stop worrying about me. I'm not one of your classmates. I'm a grown up. I'm too old to have a kid like you worrying about me. So if something happened, you better tell me, because kids are allowed to rely on adults." She does not want Ichigo to support her. She wants to support him.
Mm. Preach.
And that's a nice flip on the script, because the entire manga until this point is all about Ichigo saying, "I will protect you. I will be the sun in your darkest days, and let no sadness fall upon you." And Ikumi saying, "I'm not another one of your people to be saved. I'm here to help you." And I really like that subversion in this moment and in this arc.
So this is where you're getting at that she's more of a mother figure to Ichigo.
Exactly. She's guiding him.
I agree. She does have a very strong-willed attitude, and I don't really have a specific character moment for her. Like my only thing that I can recall from her, I love her as a character, but I don't know much about her. But like, I did not explore her that deep. But one of my favorite scenes is actually from the Fullbring arc, where she grabs her hand and puts it on Ichigo's head, and basically is just giving him that support. And like you said, she doesn't want Ichigo shouldering no burden, like worrying about her. It's all about Ichigo, and she really senses that despite being just a human.
Now, this is one of those things that's really, it's shown, but it's not explicitly stated. And that means when you realize it, it's all the more impactful. If you look at Ichigo's family, immediate family, it's him, his dad, and his 2 sisters. If you look at all of Ikumi's family we get to visit in the manga, it's her and her son.
Mm-hmm.
So Ichigo is motherless, and Ikumi's son is fatherless. That inherent mother-son bond is something Ichigo has not known since he was 10.
Mm.
And maybe Ikumi noticing the absence for her son of not having a father, she can tell that Ichigo is without a mother. And she wants to at least step in where it's appropriate to provide him that support that he hasn't necessarily gotten for a while.
I don't know why I feel so wrong to say she's a mother figure to Ichigo, because Ichigo wasn't like momless for most of his life. He was pretty aware of his mom even as a child. He witnessed her die. So that's why I'm really hesitant to call her a mother figure.
Well, she literally tells him, "You can call me big sister," which is effectively like, call me your auntie. Consider me as part of your family and someone around your block to rely on.
Exactly. That more fits with me because she knows she's not going to overstep her grounds and be like, "Oh, you don't have a mom, I'll be your mom now." Like, I don't sense that. No, and I think you're hitting the nail on the head with her. Definitely exploring her farther than I can.
because I love this arc. I've read this arc way too much.
You know it a lot better than I do.
Yeah, so we'll go to my biggest surprises. Peak of Fullbringer arc is when Ichigo comes to the house after finally feeling like, I've mastered my Fullbring, I'm ready to protect people, and his entire house is full of his friends, mind controlled by Tsukishima. And bit by bit, it's testing Ichigo. Bit by bit, he's being broke down. Fucking slams him into the wall. Everyone's angry at Ichigo. He's like, I can't be here. I absolutely cannot be here. And he leaves. And of all the people to come to Ichigo when he is in his most panic state, I would say potentially of the entire series, it's Ikumi. She sees him on the side of the road. She's like, bro, you're fucking running out here. You're filthy. You don't have shoes. He won't even talk. The best he says is thank you. She gets him in, gives him some tea, and like you said, she puts her hand on his head, nuzzles him. Because she already tried the shut up and talk to me angle earlier in this arc. Well, that didn't really work. Maybe what he needs is like a physical connection to open up and feel supported. So that's why she goes for this hug. And honestly, she's kind of uncomfortable with it. Ichigo's kind of uncomfortable with it. She still doesn't know how best to communicate to Ichigo, but she wants to help him.
In that moment, I think even Ichigo was afraid because obviously the mental turmoil he's already been going through because of Tsukishima. Even in that moment, I think the reason why he didn't say anything because he was afraid that Ikumi was affected by Tsukishima.
I could definitely see that angle, but the explicit thing is, should I tell her the details? He's like, bro, open that can of worms. She knows nothing about this world, and I want to shelter her from that.
See, I don't know why he would be, given his high school buddies know, well, like, that Ichigo has some type of paranormal association. I don't know why he would think Ikumi wouldn't be able to handle that.
Well, she might be one of the people who can't see any spirits or hollows. It could be going like full 100 for her. Nonetheless, the scene gets absolutely shut down when Tsukishima walks in, and you're just like, absolutely no way he fucking got her to. That is the absolute biggest surprise for me for this character. Okay, if he got her, who a lot of people just like didn't consider that important, I would imagine, it's like, who wouldn't have Tsukishima cut down? Absolute menace.
Bro was an absolute villain, by the way. That is like top tier. Like, I can't physically kill you or beat you, but I'm going to mentally torture you beyond your imagination.
Yeah, exactly. It was absolutely brutal. For peak moments, this is another thing I'm gonna highlight. Somehow, some way, Ichigo's lowest moments, everyone being mind controlled with Tsukishima, when he's worried about everyone close to him getting cut down by Tsukishima, when he has a broken Bankai and he can't transcend to that next level he needs to be able to protect the Soul Society and the sake of the world, he doesn't go home. He goes to see Ikumi.
Mm-hmm.
And yet again, Ichigo, I haven't seen you in months. You've been slacking on your job. You just show up here one day. You're soaked in rain. Yeah, the world's falling apart. He comes to her and she's like, bro, what the hell are you doing? But while worrying for him and saying, honestly, shade, she goes straight into cleaning his clothes and providing him food and saying like, shut up, talk to me. Let's get to the bottom of this because I want you to feel better. And I just think that's absolutely amazing. How many people can you say you could show up to her doorstep and we would do all that for you without you asking?
I don't think I can name any. This is you've actually kind of changed my perspective here. Like, she does not have much. Like, she appears plenty in the manga, but I would not call her a pivotal character in the main plot, but she's a pivotal character for our main protagonist. And that serves a really good purpose because with her little interaction she has, that's the way you've been doing this whole time. Is you've been really showcasing how much depth she really has and how much she impacts our main character. And I can't name a better way for her to be a support character. And especially like the Fullbring arc, I think really showcased that.
One of the best ways to create a good support character is give them tangible agency on someone you're already invested in. What better choice is that than a main character? To end the scene with the 1,000-Year Blood War, Ishin walks up and Ichigo's like, okay, well, Dad knows I'm here. I gotta face this. I gotta brave the storm. And Ikumi, we're going back to the rain. The rain is one of my favorite characters. She gives him an umbrella to part the rain and protect himself from these elements of nature to brave the storm of the training that will come and the story that lies ahead.
You nailed it. Like I can't think of a better way to close it off from what you just said.
So last section we have is favorite things. I already gushed about pretty much everything I love about Ikumi, so I guess I'll give you the floor to tell me something you like about Ikumi that you didn't think about before today.
You know, she's in her top 5 women, well, probably like top 10 women in Bleach woman, because you know Kubo loves to make his Bleach woman. Whenever Ukumi was on she gave me big Orihime vibes. Not in a relationship way, but just in the way that she cares for Ichigo. And it's cheesy because in any type of shonen you have, you know, a lot of your main protagonists will have someone there to comfort them and support them. But it's very rare you have your character so broken down, and then the person that's supporting them is essentially is a side character, but has very major plot implications of supporting that main protagonist. And that's probably one of my favorite things about Ukumi is that she, even though she is a side character, and of all the human characters, I think she's a bit more recognizable compared to Ichigo's other friend group, at least to me. Probably my favorite thing about her.
I would definitely say people often say like, "Oh, what was Keigo, Mizuru, and Tatsuki supposed to do? They're not nearly as strong as Chad is." Okay, but there's other ways to be important in this story other than being strong.
A battle shonen can still have other characters that aren't necessarily battle driven, and I think Kubo nailed the head on the head with Ikumi.